Hi, I look sweaty. Alright. Anyways, hi and welcome to this new video. Yeah, I actually wonder why I'm actually holding the camera. I'm supposed to be using my tripod right here. But I don't want to use my tripod today. I want to hold the camera and explain everything for you. So this video is gonna be rapid and you're gonna get the full breakdown insights. I'm gonna try to reduce the speed. And yeah, so in this video, we're going to be talking about AC motors. Yeah, I actually talked about DC motors, how it works, and actually how it's interfaced. If you haven't checked that video yet, go check it right here. I explain everything about DC motors step by step. If you have patience, you have to watch the video to the end so that you get the full breakdown tutorial and understand it. So in this video, we are going to be talking about DC motors, but it's actually related. But in this video tutorial, we're going to be talking about AC motors, everything about AC motors. How does it actually work? How does it spin? How does it power? What the type of voltage is needed to be put into it? And everything which you need to know. Let's jump right in. So this video is going to be short, not going to be long. Firstly, I want to invite you to my Patreon. If you want to get full breakdown tutorial and understandable knowledge on videos which I'm actually planning and videos which are actually coming up on my channel, you want to get the updates, you need to join my Patreon. I post that right there. I tell my Patreons what I have to do, what projects I'm working on and stuff like that. First link in the description is going to lead you to that. I'm so sorry guys, the promo is off. The promo is no longer there. The 90% off promo is ended, I guess, on the May 1st, but you can join for free and still get exclusive content. So that is just what I want to share with you guys. All right, since I said I'm going to be reducing the way I actually talk, I'm going to be reducing the speed on which I actually explain my videos, because I normally get complaints on explaining too fast and people don't actually get what I say. I have to keep it on the tripod, so I have to make it very slow, and the video is going to be kind of a long, so I have to put it in the tripod. Mine is going to freak out. I'm just going to hold it in the ending of the video. So now, what is the AC motor? Now I actually explained that the DC motor actually contains of a stator, a coil, and actually the stator is actually the permanent magnet. The coil is actually what rotates, and there's also a commutator, and it does put power into it, and the commutator actually helps it to switch power which goes into the motor. If you haven't get that full video tutorial, if you don't actually understand DC motor first, I advise to go watch it right here. You have to understand the knowledge on how DC motor actually is, how it works before you get to AC motor, because they work in hand and they have something different and they have something in common. Now AC motor, in the other hand, does not have a commutator. That is the first thing we should need to know. Now there are different type of AC motor. There's actually induction AC motor and there's actually a synchronous AC motor. Now I'm just going to be explaining the general explanation on how AC motor actually works and what is actually important which you can find in the AC motor if you open up today. Now, so bad for me, I don't have the AC motor to hold in my hands. I actually open it up, tear it down for you guys so that you can get a full breakdown tutorial, but that is not the case. What is the main case is how it works and how you can interface with it and explain to someone that this is how it works so that they don't see you as a piece of shit. Anyway, just as I said, the AC motor does not have a commutator. A DC motor have a commutator on which it switches the polarity of which voltage go into the motor, but the AC motor on the other hand don't have a commutator. You know why it does not have a commutator? Because AC, I actually explained about AC. You really need to watch my video chat. I actually explained about AC on how AC work, alternating current, what is AC, and what you need to know about AC. Go check it right here. You need to watch that video. You need to know what is AC for you to understand AC motors. But anyway, let's go straight to the point. Now, AC motor, on the other hand, does not need a commutator because it does not need a commutator. A commutator is actually what switches the polarity of which power goes into the motor. But in other hand, AC already switches. AC already switches polarity. You need to know that AC is like a snake, this is actually a sinusoidal, but DC is straight. DC does not change polarity, but AC actually changes polarity every second. So AC does not need a commutator. AC already changes polarity. You just need to put in the current to the AC motor and boom, it's pre-generated. So now this is how AC motor works. AC motor actually have a stator. It actually also have a coil, and it also have the terminal which is needed to connect to the battery. A stator is actually, it can actually be a two-sided permanent magnet, or it can be a two-sided coil which is powered to serve as a permanent magnet. Stator, stationary something that does not actually move. Now let's say a stator is actually a permanent magnet is actually imputed into the AC motor. Now this permanent magnet actually have a permanent induced magnetism. It actually induces magnetism, and it actually have a pulse. Each magnet have north and south. The other magnet actually have north and south. Now let's observe that there's actually a coil, there's actually a rotor in the center of the magnet. Now I actually explained in my DC motor. You're going to get the full breakdown tutorial if you understand it, and it really flow with what I'm actually saying. So now this north and south, this is composed by magnet. The permanent magnet, which is actually the stator, are side by side of the motor. Now there's actually a rotor inside. Now when you put voltage into this rotor, the rotor actually changes to an electromagnet. I actually explained that in my DC motor. When it's actually electricity, or you put voltage into a copper wire or a conductor, the conductor actually changes to electromagnet, thereby having its own north and south pole. Now this north and south pole actually tries to align with the permanent magnet north and south pole, which is actually side by side inside of the motor. Remember, this actually inside of the motor. You don't actually see this. This is exactly what they discover according to microfaraday law, I guess. So yes, this is actually what they discover. It don't actually see, it's not actually a visualized thing which humans can see. But here is how it works. The two stators actually inside of the magnet have its two poles, north and south, and there is actually rotor inside of the motor. When you put voltage into this rotor actually have the winded copper wire on it. Now when you put voltage into this winded copper wire, it's actually changed to electromagnet, thereby having its own north and south pole, and actually tries to repel with the permanent magnet which is actually inside of the motor. If you want to understand how it actually repel, go watch my DC motor video. You're gonna get the full breakdown still. So this is the difference. The DC motor have a commutator, but the AC motor does not have a commutator because it's AC that's actually inputted into the motor. It does not need a commutator. AC already switches polarity, so there is no need for a commutator. Now there is something I actually forgot to talk about in my DC motor video. There's actually a brushless DC motor. I don't know if you know it. There's actually a brushless DC motor. It's mostly used in the drills and stuff like that because it does not wear out. Now what is the essence? What is the importance of AC motor and what is the importance of DC motor? DC motor have brushes, this motor have commutators, and those brushes actually wear out over time, creating friction, creating spark, and actually wear out and spoil over time. But the AC motor, on the other hand, does not have any commutator, does not have brush, which makes it to last more longer. So if you check in all these kind of drones, the Phantom drone or the DJI, they actually make use of the brushless motor, which is actually AC. But let's explain something. I really need to explain something. Now, I actually said that it's actually a brushless DC motor. And I actually said that the brushless DC motor is actually AC motor. Here is the thing which you need to know. Now, the brushless DC motor, BLDC, need AC. It's actually called the brushless DC motor, but it needs AC. Let me say you have a DC power supply. You don't have a arcade to the AC power supply. Let me say you have a 3-volt battery or a 4.2-volt lithium-ion battery. You need to get an ESC, electronic speed controller. That electronic speed controller is actually what takes in this voltage which is being generated from a battery and actually turn it to AC and feed into the brushless DC motor. So the brushless DC motor actually needs AC, but without the electronic speed controller, it's useless. You can't just put in DC into the brushless DC motor just like that, straightforward. You need the electronic speed controller as far as you can know that the brushless motor actually have 3 wires, 3 phases. So you need the electronic speed controller to actually switch through those phases, thereby creating an alternating current that actually makes the brushless motor to function. So brushless motor specifically need AC, but it's actually called brushless DC motor just in the case that you don't have you want to power your drone or your project with a DC battery and you don't have AC because you can get AC in the small quantity as a battery. So you need the electronic speed controller which is going to change that DC to AC so they can feed into the brushless DC motor. So that is one thing I didn't explain on my DC motor. The types of DC motor, I didn't really go into that fact, and I was just like focusing on how the motor actually works. I didn't really go into the facts of the types of motors and stuff like that. So that is the full detail which you need to know about the AC motor. If you have any questions you want to ask me, just let me know in the comment section below and I'll forward it to it. But you really need to watch my AC video. You really need to watch my AC motor. You really need to watch my DC motor so that you can get the insight and understand what I'm actually saying in this video. Thank you very much. This is actually a wrap-up video. Actually, short video. I don't really know if it's actually a short video. When I'm done editing it, you're gonna see it. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for staying tuned. And if I was kind of fast, you need to slow down. You can reduce the speed on YouTube settings to get the full tutorial. But if you're electronic and tools, yes, you don't have to be that's slow. You have to be very fast. And thank you very much. But if I'm still fast, just let me know in the comment section and I'm going to reduce my speed. Like the video, subscribe, and also check out my Patreon. That will be in the first link in the description to support me on my work. You can join for free to get updates on new videos actually coming up. And I'm actually really tired of making oral videos. I want to make something that like practical something to actually educate you guys. Hoping to that, and that will be soon.